All right, Tomboy Official. Happy Weed Wednesday. For the sober folks, I don't know. Let me text my mom. It looks like somebody parked super close to our recycle bin, and I don't think the trash truck is gonna take it. I'm driving to the dispensary right now, recording, trying to get a $10 edible beverage. Let me see. Somebody might have parked too close to the cycle bin. If the truck didn't come yet, they might avoid it. Okay. I didn't want to wait too long in case they come early. It's her thing. I could have moved it myself, but I don't really like messing with okay, it looks like they didn't come. Somebody had a big, huge box in theirs. Alright, so far the only thing that's happened is I did get that official invite for the training. For the 1099 contract. So I signed it. I think I have to give 30 days notice. I'll have to check on that, but I think I'll have to give 30 days notice. So I'm going to give it 2 weeks and then give my 30 days notice after that point. Because then it's like, okay, I stayed on a month or so. I'm going to take the part-time option. Training starts the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. They're going to be 2 full days of training and 1 half day. So for Pacific time is going to be 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and then 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Friday. So if I do decide to get my Uber Eats on, I'll still have time to do it in the evening shift for dinners, and then the training's remote, completely online. I'm actually excited about it, I'm excited to try something new. It's like, I feel like things have been quite stagnant for me for a while now. I need a hobby. So I'm considering this a hobby. The social media management's going good. Just unfortunately, I'm hearing a lot from family. So I'm kind of instructing family members. Instructing family members to kind of see if they, they're kind of coming to me asking me kind of advice, what they should do, because they want to start some sites and things. So I'm trying to kind of direct. One of my family members is dating a musician, and another family member of mine is graduating from grad school and wants to have a professional presence and potentially be able to get their own customers and their own niche. And then I already talked about the friend. I'm going to do some volunteer work once I figure out what he actually needs. I would love to work. I would love to work for him. Just working with friends, family. I already know it's a bad idea. I did it before. I think I talked about this. One of my friend's moms was opening like a nursing, like a clinic, and she's a nurse, and she wanted me to do a website and her I don't know if it was a blog, but a website. I think I remember making a blog, but I don't know if she wanted one. Making making business cards with her logo and making a logo. But, you know, when you have like I think what needs to be done is, you know, it helps to make a template for people to just be able to, you know, address the template. Like, these are the options of what I can do. If you want something that looks like this, just tell me the colors and let's go from there. Like, logos are a little too specific because you can't really, you can kind of do that, but not really. And she wanted too many, like, I probably designed like 15 logos for her, if not more. Like, we worked on this for at least one 8-hour day, another full 8-hour day. I built her a website where somebody called me and told me the information and told me to just copy and paste the details. And then she got mad because she's like, that's my business plan, take it off. And so I was like, okay, but your person told me to do it. Like, I'm the one here who's the creative mind, and I'm just doing what I'm told. And she was kind of upset. And then she didn't even pay me for that website or for the second day that I worked for her. And then she came at me like a fourth day, like a couple months later when I was in grad school, like, hey, can you do this? And I remember the last text I sent her was just like, sorry, no, like, I'm in grad school, I'm too busy. And I referred her to a place where I kind of did a bit of a gig of some SEO, like blog posts, website content. I don't even think I have access to it anymore. This was like so long ago. It was back when making $15 an hour was like good. That would have been a good rate. So yeah, it was just a while ago. It was a long time ago. And I, just from that experience alone, you know, I remember telling her no, sorry. And I sent her like a long message of just like, you know, it seems like you don't really know what you want, you know what I mean? Like, I was trying, I think I was professional and was nice, but I was pretty frustrated because I was like, look, is your company called MHM or AMH or CMB or what is it? And then, because, you know, if you have like a brand, you can't just like change the name every other day. And then, you know, oh, I have a logo that has this name on it, and now you want that name on it, and then you have to change the blog and the website and this, and it's like, dude, I can't just be changing these things. Like, you need to figure out what your name is going to be first. Like, that's not how this works. Like, don't come hire me when you don't know what you want yet. Like, I'm not part of that process. Unless you want me to help you decide that, then let's decide that. But she wasn't ready for what I was there to do. I think she didn't really notice that. It, like, the idea of it seemed good to her. And I think she did need it, like, eventually, but no. And I know that her domain's still getting used because I still get emails about it. So somebody's been trying to log in or trying to, like, get into it or whatever. I don't know to what extent, but I just, you know, I like what I do. I enjoy what I'm doing. You know, I don't want to work with family and friends anymore for that reason. It's like, when they don't have a clear idea, like, it kind of falls on the creative person to try to, like, figure out what the heck they need. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to figure all that out for somebody. I just want to come in and design the stuff. You need to come in with a solid plan so I know what I'm doing, you know? Like, how am I supposed to do my part if you don't know what you're doing? Like, if you don't know what you want to do yet, it needs to be very clear so that we're not going back and forth and back and forth. But, I mean, I'm willing to help. I like helping. It's just, you know, I'm not trying to, like, lose a friendship with people with anger issues and people who like to hurt other people's feelings and people who are super insensitive. I'm not trying to like lose, over something that I don't have to do. I could always refer to somebody who would probably be way more helpful than I would be in the first place. So that's kind of my take on it. Okay, so let's see, I'll try to record more once I'm out of the dispensary. I just got here. Alright, Tomboy Official. I couldn't go down the alley. Traffic looked bad coming back, but I'm going home, so what am I gonna do? Alright. I'm trying to turn out here. It's early. Let me see. Let's say I had this sip around 10:05 or so. So I should start feeling it in a while. I got time. Oh man. So basically what I want to do is I guess today, because it's Weed Wednesday, I'm just having some weed. Probably gonna keep my day fairly creative. Not creative to a point where I burn myself out. I don't want to get too much work done. And I want to make sure I don't overeat. Might be able to get in some yoga or something. If I get out, it might be deliveries later on. I might be able to record like a pod or so outside in the car. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got a lot of thinking to do. Yesterday I was just running around. I went out and did Uber Eats like twice yesterday. I got an order for like $29, but then I realized it was sending me all the way downtown. So I was like, heck no. And then, because I would have had to come back, and I would have maybe gotten there by 4, maybe after 4, because there's no parking. And like, who knows where I would have parked, and it would have been more than an hour getting there, and then coming all the way back. And I'm like, my limits, I try to stick in my limits, and so even though I was literally at the Wingstop, I canceled the order. Because once I realized it, I was like, I really don't have that kind of energy to be driving back in LA traffic. Even though it would have been 4 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock traffic, it probably would have been 4:30 traffic. Because traffic would have been increasing from the school traffic as I was driving. So it probably wouldn't have been. And I'm like, I don't understand why Uber Eats does that. It's like, you want somebody... I mean, it said 17 miles, but in LA, 17 miles in traffic is like it said, it was going to take me over an hour to get there. And then I have to drive over an hour to come home, for $29, I calculate, with this car, that would have been at least a $10 trip for $29, including the tip. I would have made like $19 if that. And then considering the steering fluid that I have to replace all the dang time, I mean, I would say the steering fluid runs me about $15 something for the good one. And about every 50 miles, well, I don't know if it's every 50 miles. I'm going to try to see again. I'm reevaluating again, because Sunday I calculated that I drove like 50 miles, and then by Monday morning I needed to put new fluid. And so I'm not too sure, but now I'm kind of back to calculating it. So I've got to check and see about how many miles it's gonna get me. But I want to say it's like 50. I feel like that's not a lot, actually. I feel like I drove more than that on Sunday, but I was driving all day pretty much, though. Not all day, but like from 10:45 to like I got home around like a little bit after 4. And I did take some breaks, but like just for the gas station and for a lunch break. And just waiting between orders and stuff, but so I don't really know, but and I reset the trip every time I put gas, and so I'm tracking the gas mileage. I'm not really tracking the mileage for this leaking steering fluid. And so I don't know. I guess there's nothing I can really do about that. Either I pay to get it fixed on a car that I'm hoping to God I don't have to keep driving for too much longer. If this commission only job works out, it is a gamble if I'm trying to make money, but that's why I'm like, okay, let's do it part-time. They say the average sale, the commission I should get is $1,200. They say the average sale. And so they say about 4 sales is about $5,000 a month, or so. And then I don't know if that's true. Like, I'll have to see. Like, because you can get less. But they're saying like the average business who purchases these services, if it's just the small business that purchases like one little thing, you're obviously not going to get a $1,200 commission off of that. So I'm really going to have to see. Like, I really don't know. I'm in it for the training. I'm in it for the experience, the job experience. If it's not full time, I can still get paid work. But this is the field I want to be in, or at least I'm trying to break into. And within a month, maybe I'll have enough skills to kind of land me into, you know, a role with base pay so that I'd be getting hourly pay. I don't know. I mean, like, I got to try things. This isn't like a typical school route where I'm, you know, getting a degree and then doing an internship, and then from the internship I apply using the recommendation letters, and then I get hired at a company that's going to start me out at the bottom, and then every so often I'm working my way up. It's not like that. Like, but I am starting at the bottom. So that's why it's like, okay, I have my own projects. I feel like at the very least, the social media management project has got me into the door with this. Because at least in the interview, I was able to talk about, you know, getting my own clients, the clients that I currently have, how that process was. I could speak to at least that experience. I mean, it is a form of sales experience. And I do have to prospect, and I do have an email list, and I do have a bunch of stuff that I have to manage by myself. And so, you know, and then I have to do the work. Like, not only do I have to get the clients, but I have to keep the clients and then do the work for the clients, you know? So, you know, it takes effort, and, you know, there is a lot of working for no or low money. Like, the prospecting doesn't get me paid. You know, I'm not getting paid per hour or per day where I sit on the computer contacting people, researching, you know, doing discovery calls. I'm not getting paid for any of that. All I get paid for is the finished project for the most part. Unless somebody wants to give me a tip or a donation, but other than that, I don't get paid, you know? And so at the moment, I've been used to not getting paid. I mean, Uber Eats, it's just kind of a thing that I'm like, okay, at least I know the money's coming in from that. Like, when I do it, I'm just doing it, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to get into something solid. And with the job market and, this field in tech sales is becoming saturated, everybody's kind of pumping it. These tech certifications, a lot of tech sites are cutting back. And a lot's changing with the online work world. Places don't want to pay. People want their write-offs for their, physical business locations, their brick and mortar, they want to write that off. They don't want to, hire people to work from their house when they got a building that they could write off, and now they've got property and all that. Like, it's an asset for them. So I kind of understand both sides. It's like, you want to have a property, you want to have a business, you want to have a physical location because now you have more property options. You can write off a lot with property, but I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it. Otherwise, I just feel like, I really just don't know what to say otherwise, It's just got to try something new. And like I've mentioned before, if all else fails, I go back to working in case management, go back to my psych job. It's hourly pay, but it's like, I feel like it's worth trying something different. I've never really marched to the beat of other people's drums, even though I was able to work in the corporate world like that. It just wasn't my thing. The thing that helped me was having the structure and such a serious job where it's like, you can't really mess up. I can't get a DUI. I can't, get some kind of legal record. That would definitely mess up my chances. And because grad school didn't really work out for the PhD program, it was like, I'm not trying to make any more mistakes. Like, I own that there was some reasons why some of that was my fault. But I do think that the school did blame everything on me when there was stuff that was their fault. Like, having to start my dissertation over again in my second year with a new topic and a new lab and a new professor, and after I'd written like the majority of my lit review in the topic of Iraqi refugees and PTSD, and then starting over to start writing about dyslexia. I mean, it's not like there's that much overlap. And I'd already started working on my dissertation before, at least the lit review part. I was researching about it before I even started school there, because I talked about it in my interview. Which is why I wanted to go to that school, because I already knew they did research there like that. And San Diego has the population at that time where there were Iraqi refugees. There are still, but at that time it was more. I honestly can't say. I don't really know how they're doing, like how the refugee status is. I really honestly don't know. I never got to really fully dive into it, but I really wanted to help those people. And then, suddenly the lab didn't have any space for me, even though I was literally helping the research team writing on projects for the dissertation chair. We were all in the lab working on her literature and writing and researching and working on her projects on the weekends and stuff. And then the new guy whose lab I joined, he made it so that his lab wouldn't fit my hours, even though the class, how you sign up for classes and the classes have your hours that you're in the class. And then he changed his schedule on us so that even though you signed up for the class, say it was going to be 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and he's like, oh, but I can only meet Tuesday, Thursdays, noon to 2. And it's like, I was in a practicum and working, and I couldn't take just random hours because I'd already had a schedule set up where I already signed a contract for that schedule. So it's kind of like, I got screwed on that. that was just one of the things with the dissertation. And then they said, oh, I wasn't in the lab, but it's like, well, I'm in the lab, but you changed the hours. Like, if you kept the official hours, you can't just do that. Like, you can't just change the time, you know what I mean? And then hold other people accountable for like an unofficial time that you just emailed out to people, like, and then blame them for not showing up. It's like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, so there was stuff like that where, you know, there wasn't accountability on their end. Some of the grades were questionable, but it's like, what am I gonna do, you know? And so that was the stuff on their end where it's like, okay, if you're starting all this stuff over and I needed to have certain parts of my dissertation done by a certain time. And then they were like, well, you're not done. And I'm like, but I literally just started from scratch in year 2 when I started before. I've been working on it for like 2 years. I'd already been working on something else. And so it's like, I just think things like that. And that wasn't the only thing, but you know, they did dismiss me, and, you know, they're not just, I do think, yes, I could have been more assertive. I could have been more, I don't know, there's a lot of things coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know, but I'm over it now. Like, not fully over it. I'm over it to a point where I would say I learned a very hard lesson that, you know, get everything in writing. I had the supervisor from hell, by the way, too, who gave me a bad mark on something that we didn't even do. And then I found out that there were 2 other people in my same cohort taking the same classes that they got passing marks, or they got a mark that said NA, meaning that we didn't do that, not applicable. And then she gave me what looked like a failing grade. And then when the disciplinary board called her to talk about it, she yelled at them and said she wouldn't explain. It's stuff like that where I'm just like, really? You know, like, really? So it's stuff like that where I'm like, all right, like, something more was going on here. But I don't really know. Like, what am I gonna do? It's past. I don't want to be there. I'm glad I didn't finish the degree there, because like I'm saying, I would have been stuck. I would have felt completely stuck with a PhD and burnt out of psychology and not even wanting to do it, and that would have been the only skills I would have had. And so I'm glad I got to just work in the field. All I did, instead of racking up debt, I at least worked in the field. Got a good reputation, got 7 years paid work under my belt, 9 years in the field. I should be proud of that. But now it's on to the next, and this has been a long journey with this on to the next, but, you know, I had to deal with some health issues and mental health issues and trying to get myself situated so I could actually have the energy and brain power and strength to kind of do this new stuff. So I'm happy with it, though. It is a struggle. It's hard. It's not like it's easy, but I mean, I do like that I'm the one choosing to do this every step of the way. It's me making the choices, and I do feel like I'm learning a lot, and I'm enjoying the learning part. It's just hard to not have the paid part, the solid paid part that seemed like it would be easier and faster to come by. But in all honesty, I don't think I've even put in 100 job applications. If by now, maybe I've put in like 100. And I wasn't applying for like months, and I've been working on these other projects and stuff. So it's kind of like, in reality, when I look at the actions, it's like I shouldn't expect to be somewhere different than where I am. I put more energy into the social media management stuff than I've put into applying for these other jobs, because, I mean, let's be real, it's creative, it feels nice, it's fun to work on projects, I've been enjoying myself doing it. But now I'm going to jump part-time into another segment here of work. Let's see if I get paid. If I don't, I'm expecting to have some disappointment. I'm expecting, because it's sales, there's going to be something weird and scammy about it. I already talked about their website doesn't look all that appealing. So if they don't change it, I don't think they can send customers to that website because it does not look like something that people would want to buy on. Um, I don't think you can even buy anything on the website. They don't have a lot of good pictures. They could do better. They could do way better, but that's not up to me. That's up to them. Um, but I'm hoping they're not showing that website to customers. I hope to God it's not on the flyers, because if it is, yeah, I think it'll get in the way of business, to be honest. I um I think that's all I've got to say for right now. I'm gonna just kind of chill. Um, I took my little sip out of the parking lot, and so this stuff might be kicking in kind of soon. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted with the journey. Right now, it's all business and work. That's all I talk about because I don't have anything else going on. I'm not really going out with friends that much. I'm getting to San Diego this weekend. It's kind of a mess because I'm trying to plan with people that aren't answering, and so I haven't even purchased my tickets, and I wanted to be there on Saturday, and now the tickets are like, oh, you gotta take 3 trains and all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, either 5 in the morning I take 3 trains. I don't even know. I'm like, dude, so Sunday, I'll have to get there Sunday instead, and then from Sunday, my friend said I could stay over Sunday night, so I'm gonna try that, but they haven't confirmed. And then I have plans on Monday morning. I don't know what time because they haven't confirmed, and so I can't really buy my tickets if I don't really know what time. Like, until my friend confirms I can stay the night, I'm not buying a ticket for Sunday night. And then until my other friend confirms what time on Monday we can meet, I don't want to, you know, buy a ticket. Because, like, what if I buy a ticket too early? They've got something to do that's like a 2-hour work-related thing. But, oh, that's it for now. I'm gonna sink into my own world. It's 10:30 a.m. Weed Wednesday. You guys enjoy yourselves. A lot of people probably aren't taking today off because it's a work day for most people. But like I said, I marched to the beat of my own drum. I literally was hustling all Sunday, and I only really took Saturday off so far. So today, I'm taking free.